Shalom. Kohalo Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua. Bahashem Rakakadash. For blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. I haven't done one of these in a little minute. There's a lot going on. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is bringing judgment, destruction, and, death throughout the planet. I like to focus on my, where I reside at, in the city, New York City or whatever. And this place is a jungle, man. Nobody's safe. Everybody's on edge. Everybody's just, got their head on the swivel, man. So we're going to get into this. Yahweh Shemal Shah willing to elect me edified. Shalom.
Here are the crimes across the 5 boroughs. We begin in Times Square, where a man was set on fire just hours before the start of New York City's United Half Marathon, where thousands of runners passed the scene of the crime.
And now to this disturbing story. Police are investigating after a man was set on fire in Times Square.
Well, police say they're looking for a suspect who knows the victim and, according to the Post, was arguing with him moments before he was set on fire. Good days, Briella. Tomasetti live in Times Square. Briella, a lot of questions going on with this. You're trying to get to the bottom of the situation. What are you hearing?
Yeah, Dan Tashani, good morning. And unfortunately, the few details you just told me right now is the extent, really, of what we know about the brazen attack happening here in Times Square. We also know this, though. It took place hours before the start of the New York City Half Marathon, with thousands of runners passing by just about a block away from this crime scene.
I just came and I saw him over there, and he was just kind of like on fire. Right.
Police received a 911 call just before 4 a.m. for a person on fire at 41st Street and 7th Avenue. When officers arrived, they found that 45-year-old man with injuries that are too graphic to show on TV. First responders doused the flames with a fire extinguisher. The victim suffered burns to his face and arms and was taken to New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center in stable condition. Detectives say it appears the suspect and victim knew each other and are canvassing the busy area for security camera footage with hopes of tracking him down. They also spoke with the female companion of the victim.
And I'm just totally shocked.
So much is happening around here in New York. It's unbelievable.
Best and worst vinegars for weight loss.
Apple cider vinegar. It's a health trend.
Yesterday's attack comes 3 months after 57-year-old Debrina Kwam was set on fire and killed by a man on a Coney Island F train. That man, a Guatemalan migrant named Sebastian Zapeta, was taken into custody hours later, and he has since been charged with murder and arson. Now, getting back to this attack here in Times Square, the New York Post is reporting that the victim and the suspect were, arguing when suddenly that suspect pulled a flammable liquid from a nearby food cart and doused the victim in it before using a lighter to ignite him in flames. Police would not confirm that right now with us, but we're still waiting for more information.
That's crazy, man. Here it is, you arguing with somebody, and the last thing you thinking of is him pouring out, pulling out a goddamn some lighter fluid or something, and then, light your ass on fire, man. Showing you that people is getting more graphic and more details with their anger toward one another, man. This is how you know we living in the last days, man. And in the last day, these are the end times, man. Right? This place is about to go up in flames. This is Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And more, and they said that they knew each other, so they probably, had it out. And the dude probably couldn't stand him or whatever. And they said that a woman was involved. So that's what you're seeing, man. That's what you're seeing. The love of many waxing cold, man. Right? And it's going to get worse. It's going to get more and more graphic as the time goes on. This is why, we tell brothers and few aqua that's in this truth, you got to keep your head on the spiritual swivel, man. You got to try your best to stay out of the way, right? Pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and you know, ask him to have mercy upon you and protect you, man, because, hey, it's a jungle out here, man. Wherever you live, man, even if you're not in New York, any city you in, man, is pretty much the same thing going on, man. You can't escape the Lord's judgment, man. So if you want to stay out of the way, you best to, you know, get on the Lord's good side, man, and do what he told you to do. Right? Do what he told you to do, man. Because this ain't no game. Let's continue.
We head to East Harlem, where a worker was stabbed in the neck at a bodega while trying to stop a man from stealing cake.
Now to East Harlem, where the search is on for the person who stabbed a deli worker in the neck.
The victim is recovering tonight. Fox 8's Linda Schmidt is live at the scene in East Harlem. Linda, what are we learning about this suspect?
Yeah, well, first of all, police are still looking for that suspect tonight, but it should not be too hard finding him. That's because I am told he is known to the neighborhood here. He is also known to the bodega. But he showed up at the bodega with what appears to be a huge knife. Go ahead, take a look at this. This is surveillance video of the suspect inside the food market at 3rd Avenue and 116th Street. Now you can see what appears to be a large knife in his right hand. We are also told that he may have also had a screwdriver. Now an employee says the suspect started arguing with another employee over a cake he wanted to steal and then stabbed the employee in the neck. The employee is 24 years old, and we are told he is now in stable condition at Harlem Hospital.
Over a cake, man. Over a cake. Here it is. You getting stabbed in the neck over a cake, man. Showing you that people don't give a damn no more, man. People out here, they got demons on them, man. They clearly on edge.
Steal a cake, like, and the guy want to stop him, and he was cussing at him, and he take the knife and he stabbed him here.
And once again, police still looking for that suspect tonight, but as I said at the top, should not be too hard because he is known to the community.
Down at a subway station in Queensbridge, police say a woman shoved a 7-year-old boy.
And that just goes to show you that people are locked and loaded out here, man. They walking around here with weapons on them. Knives, guns, anything they can hurt you with, man. They walking around with it, man. So you got to be careful out here.
Boy, before threatening him and his mother with a knife.
In other news, police need your help in finding the person they say assaulted a 7-year-old boy at a Queens subway station.
It happened inside the 21st Street station in Queensbridge, around 12:40 in the afternoon on February 23rd. Now, according to investigators, the suspect pushed the boy twice, and when confronted by the child's mother, they say the person pulled out a knife before fleeing the station. The boy suffered some minor leg pain. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS.
Over in East Flatbush, a Target store is now prohibiting anyone under 18 from entering unless they are accompanied by an adult. The new rule comes in response to growing concern.
Even kids, man. 7-year-old boy got attacked on the train from that woman you just seen. Right? Which people don't give a damn about your kids. They don't give a damn about nothing no more, man. I seen that video yesterday. You know, the lady was saying that the kid was in her way, and the kid had his mom with him, and I don't know what the mom did, but the lady pulled out a knife and said that, you know, she'll stab him up, man. Stab both of them. So, hey, man, and this is how you know the Lord is protecting his sheep, man, because we around these things all day, man. Wherever we go, when we out, we around demons. When we out, man. And for you to make it through another day, every step you take is all the Lord, man. The Lord is protecting you. Just know that, man. Just know that the Lord is protecting you, and he's going to protect you as long as you're doing what he told you to do.
Concerns over disruptions caused by groups of young people particularly after school hours.
That new plan now in effect, and it follows a rash of robberies and violence at the store in recent months, with officials now hoping the new rules will help keep shoppers safe.
Fox 6's Lisa Evers is live in Flatbush, Brooklyn, with reaction to this new rule. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Natasha and Steve. A lot of reaction to this for sure. Now, we are standing right in front of this Target here on Flatbush Avenue. It is actually just down the street from the McDonald's that made news last month when they started banning anyone from their restaurant under the age of 20 unless they were accompanied by an older adult. Now, Target is letting it be known that if you are under the age of 18, you are banned from the store unless you are there with an adult. And all of this is due to the tremendous disruptions due to shoppers. Now, this Target, like many of their locations,
And I was in a Target yesterday, and I seen it, man. These kids they coming in droves, man, in mobs. It'd be 30, 40 of them trying to come in the store at the same time, right? And they be loud, they be, yelling and pushing each other, and look like they be jumping on top of each other and all that, man. Just out here like a pack of fucking wolves, man. So I can understand why they wouldn't let them kids in there, because you seen street takeovers and things of that sort where it'd be mobs of these younger jakes, and they just run up in the store and they just start snatching stuff and taking stuff, man. Right? They had it going on during the pandemic where people they had these smash and grab gangs where they just run up in the stores, take things, and walk out, and you can't touch them. So now that they pretty much lifted that, they're not having it, man. They don't even want these kids in the stores unless they got parents with them. And it makes sense, man. It makes sense.
is a popular spot for residents, but when school lets out, shoppers tell us it becomes a wild and uncomfortable scene with screaming, shouting matches, and even physical fights. Signs are now posted in the windows of the Target on Flatbush Avenue at Avenue H that say all guests under the age of 18 must be accompanied by an adult. We spoke with shoppers who had mixed reactions, but mostly positive reactions. Here's what they told us.
If the kids are running around acting crazy, then they shouldn't be in there, because there's plenty of times when I'm here during the daytime and after school hours and they're just running around crazy.
I don't think it's necessarily like making it safer.
I don't know. Some of the young kids can be trouble. They make trouble over here, they make trouble over there. The school kids, it's their store. I can't tell them what to do.
Folks, this is history in the making. The United States Mint has just released the first ever
Now, some of the residents told us that they believe that this new policy will also help reduce the shoplifting problem, which they say has been a rampant and persistent issue here. Now, we reached out to Target's parent company and the corporate PR, but did not get a response.
Staying in Brooklyn, we head to Canarsie, where a vigil was held on the anniversary of a 19-year-old's murder. His family is still seeking justice.
An emotional night in Brooklyn as the community comes together to remember those lost to gun violence and to make sure no one else becomes the victim of another senseless tragedy.
It also falls on the one-year anniversary of the shooting death of a teen, which is still unsolved. Fox 6's Kendall Green has more.
Say his name! Say his name! It's been a year since the unsolved murder of Christian Josiah Montreux.
And these fucking say my name niggas, man. Every time something happens to one of our people or whatever, one of these young jakes is always say my name, say his name, say his name, say his name. Man, listen. This ain't gonna stop, man. Right? Your son or your daughter, they wasn't just some good old kids, man. They was out here doing things that you don't know about. And the Lord was he wasn't happy with what they were doing. So this is why the Lord takes, your life, man. When you a demon, when the Lord don't see fit that you are to breathe anymore, because the Lord said, what? Whoever perished being innocent, right? Nobody's innocent, man. The Lord also said, nobody's good. No, not one, man. So sweet old team that you got the graduation pictures from and the pamper in your house, grew up to be something that you didn't know nothing about, man. Right? Now, me personally, I don't know this kid. I don't know this younger Jake, but the Lord knows him. And the Lord seen fit to get him up out of here. But this whole say my name and remember him and these candle vigils and all that bullshit, man. Right? It's vanity, man. It's vanity. Because you come out and you say, oh, we supposed to love everybody, but you hate your people, man. You hate each other. You rather skip past your people and love all these other nations and hate your people, man. A lot of our people are hypocrites, man. Hypocrites.
Yet every day, his family relives the moment that ripped their world apart.
Josiah died in my arms, and I don't get to wake up without seeing it. I don't get to go to sleep without seeing it.
Dozens gathered at the same place the 19-year-old aspiring firefighter was shot to death while doing a favor for a friend.
I want Christian to remember as perfect love. And I mean perfect love because that's exactly what he is.
Testimony, one after another, revealed a special kind of character the 19-year-old had. To his family, he was the perfect example of what a man should be before he fully became one. His mother making a plea to other parents across the city.
You got to know where your children are. There was an advertisement. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your child is?
March 19th marks the day he was.
And these kids, they be out, out and about, and they don't care, man. They got their friends. They got social media. They out here just doing their thing, man. Right? They feel like they grown. They can do what they want. And if you not righteous in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, he gonna get rid of you. Now, like I said, I don't know this kid. They say he was an inspiring, firefighter or whatever. But you see, man, you could just kind of see the spirit of him through his family. His mom got this red hair and all this stuff, man. You niggas gonna learn real soon, man, that the Lord ain't playing with our people, man. You think you hurting now. It's gonna be a lot of hurt real soon, man. A lot of hurt.
Killed in front of his home on East 104th Street in Canarsie after a drive-by shooting. Like shootings they prayed against while lighting candles as an honor to the late teen's life. Now, the crowd size made it more than evident just how loved Christian Montrose was, and they weren't the only ones making a push for justice. They were joined by other family members who lost their loved ones to gun violence as well.
Amanda, I want you to know that I love you. I'm always going to be here with you, standing with you, supporting you.
She supports us in every way. She's a very strong person.
While the case remains unsolved, Sean Montrose remembers his son's pure soul, worth their pursuit of justice.
I think he's still alive in heaven somewhere because his heart was so pure. He was when you think about Josiah, he's a person, he always cared about other people than himself.
Up in the Bronx.
And they always have them balloon floating ceremonies and all that stuff, man. Like, our people are content with being sad and angered and hurt and things of that sort, man. They love it, man.
We go to another.
Salakia, 1 second. Salakia. Salakia, brothers. Yeah, so that's what's going on, man. Our people are very, very content, and it's just like they would always say, this is life, this is what we got to deal with. It's not what you got to deal with, man. It's what you choose to deal with, because you hard-headed and stiff-necked, man. Right? Let's continue.
Another vigil, this one for a 27-year-old man who was fatally stabbed outside the Barclays Center.
Fox 8's Kendall Green talked to the victim's mother and sister and has more from the Melrose section of the Bronx.
They will know your name. One of the many heartfelt.
See, it's the same with the Latinos, man. Here you got the so-called Negroes, and here you got the so-called Latinos, man. Showing you that, we are the people, man, because we being more than likely, put to death by our own people.
Messages pinned on balloons Tuesday evening in honor of 27-year-old Michael Hernandez. His loved ones, including his mother, nephew, and sister, described him as kind, loving, and goofy before he was tragically murdered in Brooklyn.
I was told my kid was beaten, and after being beaten, they followed him to stab him to kill him.
They stabbed Hernandez to death on Atlantic and Flatbush Avenue, just outside of the Barclays Center Friday, just after 9 p.m., around the same time of a K-pop concert. The Post reports Hernandez was approached by a group of people, then stabbed multiple times in the back and once in the chest. He'd take his last steps right there on scene.
While they were, doing CPR and trying to resuscitate him, his last words were, "Please don't let me die."
Understandably, his loved ones are shattered, especially his younger sister, grappling with the milestones she won't get to share with her big brother.
I won't ever get the chance for my brother to meet my children. He was my life. Nobody's perfect, but that was my brother. That was my heart.
I want the world to stop saying that he's another statistic, because he's not.
Now, his family's making an earnest plea for justice and hopes it won't take too long.
Justice for Brooklyn! Hernandez Jr.
We love you forever. You always be in my heart.
Now, after talking to the victim's mother, she says NYPD detectives tell her there were at least 4 or 5 individuals connected to this incident that involved teens. She's asking anyone who has any.
Now, he lived in the Bronx, and he was all the way in Brooklyn by the Barclays Center. And, he just got followed and stabbed up. I mean, it could have happened that way. It just sounds like it's more to the story. Maybe he came out there to meet somebody and, something happened, something transpired. I don't think he came all the way from the Bronx just to walk around, the Barclays Center. More than likely he came out here, to Brooklyn to meet up with somebody and it went left. Because he said he was, stabbed multiple times and in the back and once in the chest or whatever. It was something more to the story that they're not sharing, but that's what it sounds like to me. And our people be doing a lot of, underhand shit, man, that gets them unalived. But this is how the so-called Latinos are Israelites as well, man. They fit the curses as well, man, regardless of whatever you want to say. Let's get this real quick. This is Second Ezra, chapter 15. Start at 15. Second Ezra 15 and 15. And it reads, I'll start at 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So people are going to start, taking matters into their own hands. Verse 17. "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," because that lockdown is coming soon, man. Right? Martial law, locking down the cities again. It's gonna come to pass real soon, man. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid," man. And people are walking around afraid right now. right? People are very much afraid when they step out their door. They don't know if they're going to get caught up like this. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, right? Our people don't have no pity upon one another. It said, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And wait till that takes place. Wait till society collapses, man. The great economic collapse is coming. And wait till you see the spirit that people are going to be into, man. Because now people can, you know, if they commit a murder or they commit a crime, they got to get off the scene, man, because they have, you know, consequences. But wait till them consequences are no more, man. When there's no more 911, where your body, when something goes down with you or you unalived, your body gonna stay there, man. Nobody's gonna come and pick it up, right? You're just gonna see dead bodies on the street. You people keep playing with the Lord, man. The Lord is about to show you, man, his fierce anger and wrath, right? That's what he's about to show you. Let's go.
The information to come forward.
Cinnamon and apple cider
These
vinegar
fucking
are your
ads,
best
man.
allies against this body
Lock
condition.
you.
If blood sugar spikes are worrying you,
God damn.
And finally, we leave the city for Long Island, where a man has been charged with murder after allegedly shooting and killing his father inside their home.
Fox 6 Jody Goldberg is live at the scene in Dix Hills. Jody, what are police saying tonight?
Bianca Natasha, police are telling us that Father John Miller Sr., who went by Jack, was a retired police detective with the Suffolk County Police Department and a member of the Wyandanch Fire Department. It's still a very active scene behind me, even almost 12 hours later, as police try to figure out a motive. And bear with me as I try to explain the circumstances, as there are a lot of moving pieces to this puzzle. Now, police, as you mentioned, arrested 43-year-old Christopher Miller, who they say shot his dad multiple times this morning. They say he moved back into his childhood home after a recent divorce, and it was just the two of them living there. Now, here's where it gets tricky. We're told Christopher was involved in a car accident earlier this week. He ended up getting into a fight with the other driver and was taken to the hospital. At the same time, his dad filed a missing persons report because he didn't know where he was. Christopher was discharged, came home, and then this morning, after an argument with his dad, police say he pulled out a shotgun and hit him multiple times before trying to run away.
Police officers responded to a call of a disturbance of a man inside a shed on Seaman Neck Road. The same police officer who responded to the missing persons report, which ended up not being a missing person, responded to the disturbance call. He recognized Christopher Miller, brought him back to the house in order to turn him over to his father, at which time he saw that his father was dead.
An absolute tragedy. A lot of questions in what's normally a quiet neighborhood. It's also right across from an elementary school. Police are still trying to piece this together. Christopher was charged with murder. He'll be arraigned at a later date.
That's this week's Crime.
And you seen it, man. There's a lot going on, man. You know, kids killing their parents, little kids getting assaulted, right? People getting stabbed up, right? Shot, robbed, everything under the sun going on, man. Every type of evil going on, man. All these things are happening for signs for you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans to get right, man, because there's nothing here but destruction. And it's about to be destruction on a whole nother level real soon, man. You're really not going to be able to sit in your house and think that you're going to, escape it all. Nobody's going to escape the judgment of the Lord, man. So you better get right, man. So we're going to get to and we're going to shut it down. This is Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 14. It says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. Speaking about you Israelites, man. Speaking to you Jakes. Spiritually, man. Get up out of the slumber. When you all in America, you're dead, man. You're spiritually dead. So Lord is saying, come to the light, man. Right? Who gives the light? Yahweh Shah, man. Let's read that again. Ephesians 5 and 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and the anointed shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, man. Yeah, watch your surroundings. See what's going on, man. Pay attention to what's going on in the earth, man. So that way you can decipher on how to move. Verse 16. Redeeming the time, meaning taking hold of these times, really paying attention to these times, because the days are evil, man. These days are very evil, man. And it's going to get even more evil. And we're going to shut it down with this. This is Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 1. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, also thou, son of man, thus saith the Lord, power unto the land of Israel, to you Israelites. And the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. So whatever you put out, the Lord is going to give you back, man. If you put out good, you're going to get back good. If you put out wickedness, evil, violence, that's what you're going to get back, man. It's perfect. You know, verse 4. And my eyes shall not spare thee. The Lord ain't going to have no mercy on you, man. Neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, man. You're going to know that the Lord is doing it to you. You're going to know. Right? Thus saith the Lord, power and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. The end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come, man. Right? So it's evil and it's death and destruction all around, man. Keep playing with the Lord if you want, man. You're going to find out. So I'm going to end it there. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, willing to elect me, other Father. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. Hey, to the next lesson. Shalom. Repent, man. Repent, man. Because it's about to get real dangerous out here. Shalom.